Since 2006, she has helped 5 relatives make tough decisions and navigate to home care, senior housing, and hospice. Carolyn found the process to be overwhelming and very challenging because she lives in the Chicagoland area and her family lives in California. Over time and with the help of experts, she learned how to simplify an abundance of information and to make the best options clear. She now serves as a guidance counselor for families during difficult times to offer advocacy, senior housing coordination, and education. Her dedication to each provides a valued resource to those working with Elderworks. Carolyn, like Elderworks, embraces all families, regardless of financial means. Please be aware that this presentation and the chat box is being recorded. Before we get started, I would like to explain about what Elderworks does. Elderworks is a nonprofit organization that provides complimentary assistance to seniors and their families. We can help with senior living, home care, or referrals for other support services. If you need assistance or support or know of any seniors who need help, we would be happy to assist. Please enjoy the presentation.
Thank you, Dylan. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking this hour of your valuable time to join us. And our mission today is to focus on fun things to do at home. It's been what I call a very peculiar period. And I have to confess to you, I do not normally do this role for Elderworks. I was advised by our trainer, Chris Petrick, that I should only have about 15 slides to give us enough time to cover questions. Well, the reality is I have 27 slides. And so bear with me, we're probably gonna go through this a little fast. You will be able to get copies of this information. So don't worry about writing down phone numbers and websites. All that information will be emailed to you if you'd like it after our presentation. So with that, fun things to do at home, it's very interesting because I knew a couple months ago that we were going to start these topics. Here at Elderworks, we try to keep everything as positive as possible. And you know, we're a little company. We're small but mighty. We have just 9 employees. We cover the entire state of Illinois. We've been around 15 years. And one thing that has changed pretty dramatically is we're doing a heck of a lot of virtual education. So thank you very much for coming on. Sit back and relax. And we're going to talk about physical, mental, and creative ways that you can do things at home. I also want to caveat this with, I know a little bit about a lot of things, and I'm going to be referencing some of our partners in this presentation. We're lucky enough to have a few of them available. So at the end, I ask if you have questions, put them in the chat, and you'll have the opportunity if you want to ask them live, but in person. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video now, and hopefully you have full screen available to you, and we'll get started. Okay, there we go. All right, fun things to do at home. Well, the first one under physical, adopt a pet. You know, it's very interesting. Some of you might be aware of these various matchmaking services. Well, not only are there matchmaking services for pets, but there are senior pets that are out there. So I think most of us remember, if they have a grandchild or if we raise children, how much energy it takes to deal with a newborn, a puppy or a kitten. So I just wanted to point out, if you have an interest in getting a pet, matching seniors with seniors is an organization in Crystal Lake that will do exactly that. And I'm sure if you don't live in the Crystal Lake area, there's many other options. The next partner that I want to highlight is Lifeway Mobility. So Lifeway is truly an expert on helping you stay in your home safely. And as a matter of fact, it just turned out that they are having a live roundtable discussion today at noon. So if you want to learn more about home modifications, stay on, and either we can provide the details to you, or we actually have on this slide how to contact Lifeway Mobility. All right, so you have time to have a lunch break and then come back on. Just an aside, I wanted to mention in relative to home safety, if you aren't already aware of this, there are several ways for you to get equipment, mobility equipment, like maybe a portable commode or a bath safety chair from various lending closets, even a wheelchair or a walker. So don't buy that. Come to us at Elderwerks and we will certainly guide you on what resources are available. All right, so again, okay. Why is this not working? There we go. All right, this is where it's a bit debatable on whether or not this is fun, but I can sure tell you if you go through this checklist, you're going to feel very productive. And again, my intent is just kind of to whet your appetite. So from my own experience, I want to let you know that my mom is 90 years old. She lives in California, where I'm originally from. And just in the last few months, myself and my two sisters have been struggling with the balancing act of what mom wants to do, stay in her home, remain independent. Well, unfortunately, we've had a situation where she's had 2 falls within 3 weeks. Now, one was really minor. It was just making the transition in her home from the ceramic to the wood floor. The second fall was outside when she was getting the mail, and you know, it looked pretty bad. She fell on the pavement. Both times she had to go to the ER with paramedics. And so we've had our family discussion, and we now have agreement from mom that she is basically 1 fall away from assisted living. So with Lifeway Mobility, there's 2 things I want to point out, and you can learn more at noon if you want. The first thing is the statistic that 75% of ER visits over age 65 occur in our homes. And guess what? I think you can all figure out what is the most dangerous area. And if you thought bathroom, you were exactly right. And the last point I want to make is, you know, those throw rugs, they're a reason why they're called throw rugs, because if you are having challenges with mobility, they are a tripping hazard and you need to throw them away, okay? I also want to highlight another one of our partners, DMK Metal. David Kaz has participated in a couple of our presentations recently. And if you want to learn more, both were recorded. I was the moderator that was assigned to introduce David when we did our virtual senior fair back in August. And in preparation for introducing him and understanding what he was an expert on, I learned some things for myself. My father-in-law passed away a year ago at 93. And one of the things that was handed down to us was this large change jar. And I had no idea until Dave educated us on what to look for, but those loose change, those jars, I had several coins in there that were worth more than their face value. And I don't know if you know this, but we here in America are having a loose change shortage right now. We're having a shortage because people aren't going to the laundromat. They're not using the vending machines. We're going out to the few stores we go to and paying with credit card. So basically, what I'm suggesting is find those loose change jars. The other thing is Dave will educate you on, you may have some jewelry, you may have some flatware. If you tune into his presentation, you will find that you may have some things of value that you didn't know were in your home. So in my mind, that would be something fun to find treasure that we didn't know existed. All right, so let me switch gears to mental activities. I love the saying, learning loving, growing, and serving. And for me, that's been one of the things that we've adapted in our family this year is specifically getting involved in a lot of volunteer opportunities in the community. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Elderwerks Make a Senior Smile program. I know personally, I've been taking advantage of a lot of self-development. Some of these experts that normally charge for their classes are giving it away free. The other thing I learned from our trainer, Chris Petrick, is how important it is to stay positive. And what she does is every morning, and there's a few requirements there, if it's 32 degrees or higher, if there is no rain or no wind, she and her husband go out walking. And she calls that a morning walk of gratitude. And you know, the research says having an attitude of gratitude is going to provide many, many benefits. The other thing is we all need extra vitamin D, and rather than taking a pill, you can get it right from our natural source, the sun. And finally, on this slide, eat mindfully. A lot of us, me included, have fallen into the habit of eating our dinner in front of the TV watching the news. And unfortunately, the reality is we're eating more and we're not even aware of what we're consuming. So basically, what we are suggesting is that you take your time, turn off that TV, and really make an effort to engage, and hopefully with, if your family member's not in your household, then at least consider talking on the phone or doing a video chat for your meal. All right, a little bit about some other mental activities. And I see that Betty is here on. She is a retired school teacher and has a little company called Legacy for Family. And basically, I have to tell you that I met Betty several months ago in our networking group for continuity of care. And it was perfect timing in the sense that we made a family trip out to California in July. And we did that as a calculated risk because mom was turning 90. And as we all know, tomorrow is never promised. So my sisters and I were trying to figure out, what do we get mom for this milestone birthday? And we decided that what Betty offered was just perfect. So I personally can attest to the fact that Legacy for Family can provide a really, really nice special gift. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a milestone birthday. It could be maybe a special anniversary if you know a couple that's having 50 or 60 years together. It also could be appropriate for someone that's maybe undergoing chemo treatment and really doesn't know if tomorrow is available. So I just want to let you all know, if you can calendar January 12th at 10 a.m., Betty's going to be running a workshop to write a one-page autobiography. And at the bottom of the slide, I want to let you know, hopefully you're receiving our Monday emails, but we have a book club with growing popularity to the point where we may even have to add another one. The book that's being read is The Gift of Years, and they're pretty far along in the book. However, it's the kind of book where each chapter kind of starts a new story. So if you're all feeling like you want to try something new, the club meets at 10 a.m. on the first and third Tuesday of each month. And it's the same Zoom format that we're all becoming very familiar with. All right, so mental activities. We've probably heard that stimulating your brain keeps it sharp, and everybody has a different things that they like. Well, one thing that is kind of universal are word search puzzles. And so in the last week, Elderwerks ordered and produced 20,000 word search puzzles. So these books they're 20-page newspaper style. They're available to any senior free. They're in our office in Palatine. If you would like one or two, please feel free to email or call the office and we'll make sure you get those, okay? Harper community classes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Harper. Harper Covers is based in Palatine and they cover the Chicagoland area. However, you may be in another county like McHenry where it's MCC or Lake County. If you weren't already aware, our community colleges have adapted to COVID and the classes are online and there's no exams or homework. And just something that I happened to notice at Harper that caught my attention, the best national park system hikes, Earth's exotic creatures, Chicago's modern architecture series, Gettysburg, the battle and the speech, Lyndon B. Johnson, the accidental president. So if you do have an interest in lifelong learning, then please check out Harper. And again, you know, the benefit of COVID is it doesn't matter where you're located. So even if you're in Chicago or way up towards the Wisconsin border or even out of state, there's a variety of courses from music lessons, languages, quite a number of options that are available. All right, this is interesting. I don't know if you've ever heard of Laughter on Call. And every weekday, they actually have laugh time at lunch or lunchtime laughter. Now, if you noticed reading the slide that it says 2 to 2:30 p.m., well, the reason for that is because this takes place in the entertainment capital of the US, Los Angeles. So in that area, they have access to above average talent. So if you're looking for something interesting to do, and I heard that it's G-rated. So if you have grandkids, it's something you could even encourage them to do. And there's the information on how to get into the Laughter on Call, the website. All right, now this is an interesting one. I don't know if you remember when smartphones first came out, but there were some companies that realized that older adults were challenged by all the smart features. You know, we're not born with a keyboard like some of these 20-somethings. And so first the smartphones adapted to offering options for older adults. And now GrandPad is a company that essentially offers an iPad. It's like an iPad that's designed for older adults. And there's things that it can do, but probably the three top features are connecting with your family and friends through video calls. They offer the solitaire game, and you can post and view pictures. So it is offered as a service. It's around $50 to $65 a month. So if you're having family members ask what you might want for the holidays, just consider getting a GrandPad. Oh, and by the way that it works with a family is your grandchildren and your own children will be able to load content from their smartphones. So it's really neat because I don't know about you, but some of these kids that are 13 and 14 years old, they are far superior to using technology. And I don't know, check it out if you're interested. All right, fun games. There are so many options available. Yesterday, I was on a virtual holiday party, and we actually had something for raffles, and it was like kind of Wheel of Fortune. Only what they did is they loaded everybody's name that was on the call into this spinning wheel. So it was like virtual spin the wheel. And wherever it landed, that person won the raffle. There's also a variety of virtual scavenger hunts. You can obviously create your own, or you can find it online. And same thing with bingo. There are companies that are offering free bingo. You can do it virtually where your laptop or tablet becomes the bingo card, or they offer templates that you can actually mail to people. Categories, Pictionary, these are just a sample of the many, many things that are out there for games. All right, come on, computer. All right, now because it is the holidays, we can't forget our wonderful gingerbread homes. And many of us might have memories of doing this when we were a child. And quite honestly, it used to be a lot of work. But now gingerbread homes are offered as a kit. They are basically not only something you can get from your Target, Walmart, the big box stores, even the grocery stores. But I've heard of a company that has virtual gingerbread wars. So it's kind of a takeoff on the cooking shows where you're having a virtual contest. So consider that for something to do with your grandkids. I also learned about the White Elephant Gift Exchange. And I know personally, I participated in Elfster. Elfster was a Secret Santa program that I just did this week with my women's networking group. There's also virtual holiday dining, and there's virtual karaoke. So I'm just impressed with all these entrepreneurial ideas. All right, now let's get creative. So in the spirit of supporting another one of our partners, Pinot's Palette is located in South Barrington, and they are known as a paint and sip studio. So the idea is that mostly moms, well, it's actually anybody can come to their studio during normal times and in an hour or two, make some type of creation. So they're most known obviously for paintings. And when you go there to paint, you actually have an instructor that guides you step by step. And it becomes not only a creative, relaxing thing, but in between when the paint's drying, you get to talk with your friends. They usually have snacks. Well, this being COVID time, Pinot's Palette now offers take-home paint kits. So you can either go to their store and pick it up curbside, or you can have it mailed to your home. The paint kits that they're offering this month are $22. And the reason for that extra $2 is because they've also added an ornament. And in the spirit of partners helping each other, if you mention Elderwerks when you order the kit, they will give us a percentage of the sales because we are not for profit. And if you decide to order a paint kit online, the special instruction is, this is a copy of their order form. If you see the red arrow where it says click to enter seating request, and then there is a little box with yellow highlight, that's where you put Elderwerks. And then each painting, and there's 80 to choose from, has a name. So it could be, snowman in winter, etc. And I also have to tell you, when I was there, I don't see myself as much of a painter. So in 2 hours, I knitted, never knew how to do it, an awesome blanket that both my son and my husbands are fighting over. So something that you can do safely at home. All right, some other activities. Ask yourself, what have you always wanted to make? Because this is your time to learn how to knit, to crochet, to sew something. There's virtual classes out there to learn. And if you want to help us out, back in, I think it was April, we started our Make a Senior Smile program because we realized that many of our clients and our people that reach out and ask for help are now isolated in their homes and they're lonely. And so we basically have encouraged volunteers to make a card, a letter, a poem, or artwork, And we, for the last few months, have been delivering these works of art, creative options, cards of cheer to older adults. So if you have someone you want to nominate, or you yourself would like to receive a card, reach out to us. We're also mailing our word puzzles. Okay. All right, this is a new one I don't even know about, but one of the industries that is really not operating now is our live theater. So again, going back to one of the virtues of COVID is we no longer have to travel to New York to see Broadway shows. For $9 a month, there is a subscription where you can get musicals, dramas, and Broadway classics. So if you're still wondering about what you could buy for someone or what you may want for Christmas or the holidays, this might be an option for you. I want to share with you kind of my personal experience that I mentioned that I'm originally from California. And I had an excellent relationship with my mother-in-law, such that when my second child was born in 1997, I went out to their home in San Diego for 3 months. So you can imagine a working mom with a newborn, and we're at grandma's house, and I have a very, very active 3-year-old. And what grandma did is she took Riley to the San Diego Zoo every single day. They were there at 9 a.m. before they opened. They toured the zoo. Obviously, he didn't know how to read, but he's 26 today, and he actually knows that zoo with like the back of his hand. So probably I'm a little biased, but the San Diego Zoo is pretty much well known in the entire world as one of the top zoos in the nation. So if you want some relaxation by watching animals, we have the information here on how you can go to the live cams for the zoo. Oh, another relaxing activity that involves animals is my neighbor here at Soul Harbor Ranch. So Jody Deagle offers therapy animals. Her ranch is based in Barrington. And during normal times, you see some pictures of her little mini horses. She has 10 mini horses, 4 mini donkeys. She has 3 therapy dogs, and then she fostered Daisy this month, and Daisy just had 9 little pups. So on the little black guy, that is one of the newborns, and being born at this time of year, 9 pups, you can probably guess what they're named. Yes, Comet, Dixon, Blitzen, Rudolph, you got it. So Jody is typically around. She does go to our senior community. She does go to shopping centers. If you are interested in learning more, her website is here. She has a wonderful Facebook page. She's got 54 volunteers because she works full time. And amongst them all, there's just some really, really fun things. And things that you can share with your grandkids. I mean, who wouldn't want to watch these newborn pups? And by the way, the horses, you know, that's Faith and Grace, and oh, they're just awesome. And one last point, Soul, S-O-U-L. The reason for naming it Soul Harbor Ranch, it stands for sharing our unconditional love. And that's what Jody's all about. So check that out, live or in person. And I'm hoping that we will have an option for a bird making kit, a bird, either a home or a feeding kit, because what I'd like to do is have some of these activities that connect. So this is our very first presentation that we're doing on fun things to do at home, but I suspect we're going to be doing, based on your feedback, doing this a little bit longer. So right now we don't have a whole lot of birds around, but if you were to make a kit now, and we're in this predicament in say March or April, I personally think it would be really fun to watch those birds come to the house that you made. Just food for thought. Oh, and I think this is a little repeat, but of course I'm reminding you that you can have lunch or dinner with someone virtually. All right. So here we are in this uncontrollable time. And I was advised to don't wait until you're ready to kick the bucket, but to make a bucket list. So what we're suggesting is, let's plan for life after quarantine. Who do you want to visit? What new places do you want to explore? And start planning now. So for example, my husband has been in sales for many, many years. And he's lucky enough to be one of the top salespeople in his company. And as a result, we will be awarded with a travel voucher. Now, we're going to take this advice and we're actually starting now to plan this dream trip that we're targeting for October of 2021. I don't know if we're going to be able to travel then, but I know going through the process of planning and learning about these places that we want to visit is something that is very inspiring and uplifting for me. That's just how I work. Virtual trips. I didn't know this until I started putting this material together, but the top 10 museums around the world all offer virtual tours. The Great Wall of China. My other son, who is age 23, he was one of those kids that wasn't ready for college. And so he ended up doing what's known as a gap year. And in between his senior year in high school and his freshman year in college, he actually went to Asia. And one of the things he did was camp on the Great Wall of China. So there's a lot of really exotic places that we can go to from our own living room. And I just wanted to make you aware of that. All right. Robotic companion pets. If you didn't already know this, our pets bring us joy. They bring us relaxation. They are meaningful connections and they provide happiness. However, this is a very tough time and many of our seniors don't have the flexibility and freedom to take a dog out for a walk or to clean up after it. And I am absolutely amazed, and I learned about this with our work in the memory communities, that there are these very lifelike robotic pets. And all you have to do, you can Google it, companion pet, robotic pet. Last I looked, they're about $80 on Amazon. And Amazon, not that I'm plugging Amazon, I would still prefer that we all buy small and local, but just they're one option that provides herb gardens. So to have something new and lively in your home, I think is inspirational. And personally, I had to decide on a little gift for my colleagues. I went to Home Depot. Home Depot had these lavender kits. So lavender you can grow in your home at this time of year, and lavender is a natural herb that provides tranquility, relaxation, and stress relief. And who wouldn't want that at this time of year? All right, the other thing I learned about is Soothies therapy products. So this is a little bit different than our stuffed animals or our robotic pets. These tools, these therapy products, help with restlessness, anxiety, insomnia, and more. And they also offer these comfy buddies. So you've probably seen these things that you heat up in your microwave. Well, these could be either hot or cold. And they also can be aromatherapy. And then, of course, we're going back to reminding you that even though our libraries are closed today, I noticed on my newsletter from my library that they are having a pickup in the parking lot. And if you haven't already tried it, check out audiobooks, because audiobooks Some of them today are really like having a production. In other words, they have a variety of different actors and actresses that play parts in the book. So I just wanted to remind us all that our libraries are free, and that you have not only the opportunity to read new books by picking up, placing your order at the library, at least how that is how mine is working, and then going to pick it up there or downloading it on tape. Okay, so of course I have to remind everybody about what Elderwerks offers. And I'll tell you, let me be very honest with you. Our greatest challenge is people don't contact us until there is a crisis. It's either a health incident. Normally, our busiest day is the Friday after Thanksgiving. And the reason for that is the adult children have gone home. And what they've realized in their holiday visit is mom or dad is not doing as well as they thought. And so we want to make people aware and remind everyone that we are here to help. And some of the ways that we are trying to help this year, I mentioned earlier our Make a Senior Smile program, that's expanded. We are working with a national partner because we as this little team don't have the resources to make sure that our communities get multiple cards every year. We have a subset of that is doing pen pals. In my neighborhood, I have 3 little sisters. I think they range from age 4 to age 10, and they are writing on a regular basis to 3 different older adults living in one community. Mom is very, very supportive because she is so relieved that they have something valuable to do that doesn't involve screen time, and they're actually practicing their handwriting skills. And of course, if you don't already know it, we've been pretty famous for publishing an annual directory. Our 2020 guide is 370 pages. So it's not only available on our website, it is also available for pickup in our Palatine office. And we did slip our 2021 publication. Instead of being now, it's not going to be available until March of next year. And if you need a new cloth mask, we are fortunate enough to have connections with some very talented sewers. We're getting some fun ones for the holidays. They're all cloth. They're all made by volunteers. Once again, you can pick those up in our office. What I mentioned our word search puzzles, and of course, the fact that you are taking time with us today. Obviously, you are aware of our Zoom presentations. And by the way, we now tape on Facebook Live. And if you have a friend that might enjoy this information and they weren't available now, then we can send you the link to the YouTube recording. So once again, we are leveraging the fact that we are virtual and we are trying to help as many people as possible. All right, so let me almost wrap it up and just repeat this little quote. Remember, you have only one ride through life, so give it all you got and enjoy the ride. Again, there's so many things that we don't have control over, and the more we can keep it positive, the better for all of us. So I just want to thank you all for your time and attention. Oh, not too bad. It's 10:42. So we'll have a little time. I see that there's at least 10 comments in chat. And I also see we've got Betty here and we've got Jim from some of the companies that I mentioned. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the video back on. Jim or Betty, is there anything you want to tell our folks?
Betty, please go ahead.
What?
Betty, can you tell them a little bit more about what you did for my mom in the upcoming workshop?
Yes, for the excuse me, for the upcoming workshop, we're going to be doing kind of go through your life ideas to get you thinking about what you want to leave as your legacy, what you'd want your family and friends to know about you. throughout your life, because believe it or not, people are interested in that kind of stuff. And it's really kind of fun to go back through memories and kind of pick and choose what you think would be kind of fun to share with others. So we'll be doing that on the presentation in January. I'm going to put out a little organizer for people to use as they go along if they want to physically be doing something, and hopefully share along as we go through the presentation.
Right.
Yeah, and then Legacy for Family itself is, it ends up as a coffee table book, like Carolyn said. It usually ends up being 25 to 30 pages. It includes pictures and your story, or whosever story I end up doing. And I try to make it so that it is their voice. I don't change the story. I use their voice. So if they talk like they're out of Boston or Texas or something like that, that's the kind of words you'll be getting in your story.
Well, Betty, if I could just interject, that's exactly what happened in our family. So again, I'm the oldest of 3 sisters, and you know, we timed Betty's interviews with my mom for the period that my sister Emily was going to be off the grid and camping, because Emily is the designated sister that talks to mom every day. And so during her absence, Betty had multiple interviews with her. And when the draft book was done, my sister was struggling with the fact that there were some grammatical errors, and she didn't quite understand that Betty had essentially transcribed the interview with mom. And so, you know, that was done by intent. Correct. So it was just kind of funny, because it took a while to deliver the book to mom, because, you know, my sisters wanted some input in the final.
Right. Which is fine. I mean, that's totally acceptable. And if people want to change the way that it's written, that's easily done. And pictures can be exchanged. The book actually, once it's even completed and published, can also, again, be edited for future, or if you want to add pictures or add family members later on, that can be done. Like great grandbabies or grandbabies are born that you want to get them in the book, and that can easily be done. All you have to do is purchase a new book once the pictures are added, or the comments. If people want to add a page of their own comments to somebody's story in particular, that can be done. So it's very, very flexible. This is a new thing for everybody, and it's kind of just fun to go through your life. I actually started doing my own story just to try to start getting things down myself, and maybe do my own book in the future. So once you start doing other people's, it's kind of exciting to do your own.
Thanks,
So
Betty.
Yep.
All right, so Jim, again, it just worked out that your company is doing this workshop at noon today. So if anybody does want to come back and learn more, maybe you can tell them about what you're going to be presenting in just an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes, and Carolyn, thank you for doing this. You know, things like this are very helpful, more than you might know, because a lot of the folks, like all of us, are kind of being forced to stay inside, especially in the last couple of weeks, and possibly who knows how much longer. And so having, things like this to break up the day, I think is really important, and gives you a chance to hear other people's concerns and other people's issues as well. And that's how you relate. Yeah, we do have our national webinar coming up at 12 o'clock, and it's really going to cover just ideas on, making sure that places in the home are safe. One of the challenges during this pandemic is, of course, as I just reflected on, is we are stuck in our homes. And one of the benefits may be that, we can take a look at a home, and, I know they said that Home Depot sales and Lowe's sales have almost doubled, because people are taking care of things in their home, doing projects that they haven't done in a while. And so one of the things that we're encouraging people to do is take a look around the house, and places that maybe that same hallway that you walk through every morning, you trip on the threshold. and you just do it and you don't think about it. Maybe addressing that, the place that in the toilet or in the area around the toilet or the sink or the shower. Take a mental note. Do I always have a challenge getting into this tub, and how can I maybe help that or make it better, or make it safer so I don't have to, and then reach out, to your township or Elderwerks, or even us at Lifeway Mobility, and say, hey, listen, could you guys, this is what I'm doing. What's available to me? Because for the longest time, I've been having a hard time getting off the toilet or getting into the shower or the stairs have been such a challenge. Just little things like grab bars that you put off for years. Maybe now's the time to start thinking about putting up grab bars, so that when we start to get back into the normal, if you will, world, and we don't have time to do these things, they'll be set in place.
Well, Jim, I think we've got another issue going on because of COVID. And if you recall, I sent you a referral not too long ago. It was a family where, the parents were very challenged with the stairs. And obviously, if it had been a non-COVID time, they would have elected to either move, downsize to a ranch home, or even move to a senior community. And, one of the things that you do exceptionally well is you are truly a consultant. You presented at our senior fair in August. That presentation was recorded. And some of the feedback we got was, not only did you provide solutions, but you provided details on manufacturer names and, most importantly, cost estimates. And so in this particular case, we had a situation where the family came back to me and they said, we have a problem. We went out, we got 3 bids for this chairlift. And there's a huge variance in the cost. Can you help us understand why company A was so much lower in price than company B or C? And I suggested they contact you directly because, honestly, you were a nurse. You've helped us out at our senior fair when we've needed before the paramedics arrived, when somebody fell. And the honest to God truth is, this person reached back and they said, I don't really want to talk to the vendor. And the implication was, a vendor is going to be financially motivated and they're not going to provide truthful and honest information. I said, we're pretty particular about our partners. I suggest you call Jim, and he's going to tell you very honestly what the details are. And so, Jim, maybe you want to follow up with that, or at least say something more.
Yeah, and thank you for the kind words. There's a lot of folks right now who, like you just mentioned, they were possibly thinking of moving, whether, downsizing or assisted living or whatever they were doing, and COVID challenged that. Some of the things that we're telling folks is the solutions don't necessarily always have to be permanent. And specifically for this person that you had referred, they were obviously looking for ways to get up and down the stairs safer because it was such a challenge. And we had mentioned that there's rental opportunities. This doesn't have to be something that needs to go in there and you have to spend a whole lot of money, especially if you think you're only going to use it for a short term. Then there's a rental opportunity, and that can go from month to month. And at any time you want to just say, okay, things are better now, we found a place, we're going to move, we can just take that piece of equipment out. We also offer people the used products. So there's used ramps that are out there. People maybe at some point that thought they needed a whole big ramp in their front yard. If they were going to stay, maybe not a bad idea, but if they weren't thinking of staying that long, a portable ramp that you can get online practically, because there's really no construction involved with a portable ramp. But if you have those 1 or 2 steps that just need to be navigated, a portable ramp is very cost effective and it's safe. So you can get it in there, you can take it out, and you can bring it with you if you're going to move. So there are options that don't necessarily have to be very expensive, and they can be more cost effective, contacting the township, seeing if they have lending closets available, because you're not going to necessarily use something for a long time. So there are options that people can have where you don't have to, if you think you want it to be temporary, then we can try to help make it temporary.
Okay, so let's see. I'm looking to see if there's any more questions. Otherwise, I have a favor to ask all of you. So once again, this is a live presentation presented virtually. It has been recorded on YouTube. It has been offered to Facebook Live. If you have a friend that missed out and may want this information, please let them know that it is available. But most importantly, if you know of anyone that is struggling with aging parents, struggling themselves, other relatives, please reach out to us. We truly want to help. And we're not here just to help navigate you to housing or home care. I would say about 50% of what we do is to refer to other professionals like Jim and Betty. Probably our number one referral request is for an elder law attorney. So please, please remember that we are essentially a free resource. Our nonprofit status is to emphasize that we are here to help everyone, regardless of income. So if there's no further questions, I want to wish you all a very safe and healthy holiday season. And hopefully we'll see you back at one of our future sessions. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Carolyn.
Thanks,
Bye,
Carolyn.
everyone.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you.